Hi everyone, this is Prashant Parthiban. Today I'm going to take a training on one of the mostly used terminology in property and casualty insurance world that's called ISO, which stands for Insurance Services Office. Before going into the topic, I want to give an overview about ISO. What is ISO? Because we keep on talking about ISO forms and we all say that we get the data from ISO. What is this ISO? Why do we need it? In 1971, like few insurance companies, they joined together. They wanted to share the database or the data so that collectively they can analyze the data and come up with better pricing. Down the line, every year it got optimized. At one point in time, there is a company called Verisic, which is something that they formed as a separate company. And currently ISO is owned by Verisic company. Now, a lot of people get confused saying that is Verisic an insurance company? No, not at all. Verisic is like ISO is an advisory organization that provides statistical, actuarial, and policy forms. For example, most of you know what is meant by statistics, right? We take data and analyze the data and come up with some statistical count, like what is the total number of losses for a particular year. So those kind of information comes from ISO to all the insurance companies. Second part is actuarials. Like we know the actuarials are a separate team who does this predictive analytics. Like they look at the past history and determine like what will be the future probability for a loss. So those kind of information mostly comes from ISO. And policy forms. Say you want to start a new insurance company. You don't have anything like product called Guidewire or Duck Creek. Now it is very cumbersome or time-taking process to come up with new forms. When I say forms, like say if you want to send a document to customers, issuance document, you need to make sure the document is in compliance with the state. Now to do that, you have to go have a back and forth meetings with the state regulations department. But what ISO does is they have done most of the work for you. Like they work with the state, they make sure that these forms are up to date, and all that insurance company has to do is take that form and do a little bit of customization. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Like they provide statistical, actuarial, and policy forms to the insurance companies, brokers, or any government entities, like any entities that needs the insurance information. Now, how do they provide this information, right? Because when you say insurance companies depend on this particular ISO to get the data, they should rely on some other source to get the data, right? So that's what the second point says. Every insurance company, they have a subscription with ISO. They are called as ISO subscribers. So as a result, what they do on a regular basis, every insurance company, say there are 300 insurance companies who have subscribed with ISO, they report their data on a regular basis. When I say data, their overall premium by the different lines of business, and what is the overall losses, and what kind of expenses they have. So as a result, ISO is going to have all the core data from different insurance companies. Now, once they have the data, they work on the data, they come up with some statistical counts and everything else so that they can give the data to different insurance companies. That's what the third point says. ISO provides below services to different insurance companies. One is the overall loss cost. So if you wanted to understand overall loss for a particular customer, then you can rely on the ISO. And policy forms, as I told you, most of the insurance companies, they take this ISO standard forms and then they do customization. Rating and underwriting rules. When they give these forms, they also give the rules like what kind of endorsements should be applied for what scenario, and what kind of rates that we have to apply for each LOBs. Like if you are a homeowner policy, what kind of rate can be given to each scenarios. So those informations will be given by ISO. Financial reporting, like ISO will have an interface between these financial companies or the government entities, so that as long as you send the data to the ISO, they will in turn send that information to the financial entities. That includes even workers' compensation. Sometimes they can also do property inspections in case of homeowners policy. If you want to do some inspection on the property, they can always do that. Fraud detection, which is a very important point. say you get a claim from a customer, as an insurance company, you need to make sure that the customer haven't filed the same claim with the different insurance companies. As you know, every insurance companies, they report their particular losses or claims to the ISO. So it's very important every time when you get a claim, you reach out to ISO to make sure if there is a duplicate claim, which means did the insured or the customer filed a duplicate claim with some other insurance companies. Now, this is all about ISO. Now, this is one of the standard advisory organization all across USA. We also have one more advisory organization that is called AAIS, American Association of Insurance Services. Again, they are specialized in having the policy forms for specialty lines like inland marine and agricultural insurance. So both are advisory organizations. Maybe ISO is across USA, and even AAIS is one of the insurance advisory organization, which provides most of the services that I have listed here. I hope you like my training videos. If you like my training videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.